get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's Good Morning. Good morning, bhai. आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
Namaskar.
वनकम,
Namaskara.
खुशामदीद,
Assalamu alaikum.
सत श्री अकाल,
మీ అందరికి వందనము.
जय स्वामीनारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण.
जय जिनेंद्र,
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे या अली मदद.
and मोलाली मतलब बोलते हैं सारे फीजी बंदों को बोलेंगे नीसा बुला बरजान, and of course all you tree huggers, आप सभी लोगों के लिए आज happy Vasundhara Day to you.
Happy Earth's Day today.
Of course, yes, this is Earth Day, Faltari. It's so, it's so interesting, right? We just realized that one particular year where we all are, uncontrolled circumstances.
Wow.
We had to just slow down all our activities.
Yeah.
And Mother Nature is able to recoup.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. You remember this? It is, and by the way, what is one more thing monumental about today, Faltani?
What, Alta Baba?
Today marks the 400th day of our Code Creative Initiative.
Wow.
Yeah,
400th day.
400th day, Badajan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
400 days हम लोग patiently sheltering कर रहे हैं और थोड़ा करना पड़ेगा. Why am I keeping count of this, Badajan? Because we actually got the instruction for getting into shelter March 16th of last year by Sarah Cody.
Okay.
Our Dr. Sarah Cody, right?
Yeah.
Our Santa Clara County health supervisor, right?
Yeah.
So, and we started our creative initiative in the same week.
Correct.
Because we realized that when you actually were asked to go back into the house, we all had that knee-jerk reaction like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Correct.
But we thought we should actually keep our creativity initiative going, and we realized that they were using the word social distancing the wrong way. They should not have called it social distancing.
They should call it physical distancing.
Correct. It should have labeled as physical distancing. No matter how much they come and tell me, I will not never agree the fact that it should be called social distancing.
Right.
Socially we can connect, but physically we had to be distanced.
Right.
And even now, for the matter, socially connect karo, physically distance karo. Yeah, some of the businesses are opening up right now. We are seeing some of these things what's happening around the globe. In fact, yesterday also in Good Morning Baby we shared about what's happening in India and other places, Badajan. And please make a note of that. We have to learn from that and not make sure we don't repeat it over here, right? Because there's still quite a lot of people not vaccinated as yet. There is a 1 in 4 who are vaccinated. But right now, Biden has posted a very interesting goal for himself as 200 million to be vaccinated soon. I hope it happens and we are able to, curb the virus over here in this part of the world at least. We'll talk about all those things, what's happening with the news and everything in a few minutes. But of course, pehle, a quick look at what's happening on the roads for you guys with the raste ka haal, jo hum log aapko dete hain, actually totally saste mein without no cost.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Yeah, well then, wherever you are, if you're experiencing some kind of a traffic, we want to know. We want to know what's happening there so we can actually make sure other bandus don't get stuck. And it doesn't mean that we want you to be stuck, Balajan. It's just that you also can earn the good karma points, right? That's what Fadwani is the whole purpose of this, right? And the best part about the situation is the fact that we don't have many accidents report right now because the traffic is still light compared to what it was. The volume of traffic on the road is still light compared to what it was pre-COVID, Bandajam. There's just a report of a hazard situation on 880 because of some accident there on Dixon Landing. Watch out, the right shoulder is blocked over there. Apart from that, I don't see much, only for a high wind advisory on 580. Now you wonder, why do I keep talking about 580, high wind advisory in 580? Why 580 so much? Well, 580 is a windy place actually. If you look at it, if you notice, all those windmills and everything are there, right? They are not creating the air, no. They are trying to harness the high wind which comes there.
Correct.
So probably we'll have more electricity and all over there for sure in terms of surplus and all. We'll talk about that, Balja, lekin that's all we have in terms of what's happening on the roads. But weather-wise, I told you it's going to be cloudy. Looking kind of cloudy, but it'll be clearing up soon. And guess what, Fatwani?
What, Alta Baba?
It's going to be sunny tomorrow.
Wow.
And tomorrow's Friday.
Okay.
Day after tomorrow is going to be cloudy.
Okay.
Overcast.
Okay.
But Sunday definitely is going to be rain. Ha! There's got a 90% chance of rains on Sunday. And of course, by today being Earth Day, I have very nice Gardening Akira lined up for you guys. But before we go to the Gardening Akira, you know what I do, right? Put Faltu on the spot and ask her, hey Faltu,
Yeah.
what's news?
Well, Altbaba, what is news? Do you want the headlines, or shall we just give you the news in detail?
Hey, Falguni, up to you, and you can feel free to do whatever you want. You know, right? Whatever you want.
Yeah, okay. Well, the U.S. House of Representatives on Thursday narrowly voted for the second time in less than a year to make the District of Columbia the 51st state. So it's no longer the 50 United States, it's the 51st state.
Yay!
Sending it to the Senate where it faces. It's not done yet.
Why?
So it faces stiff Republican opposition. By a vote of 216 to 208, the Democratic-controlled House approved the initiative with no Republican support. The population of Washington, D.C. is heavily Democratic. As a state, it would likely elect 2 Democratic senators, potentially altering the balance of power in the Senate, which now has 50 Democrats and 50 Republicans. After the milestone police verdict in Minneapolis, Abanajan, one thing that we want to tell you that is another Minneapolis man was laid to rest. 2 days after the Minneapolis jury found the white police officer guilty of murdering George Floyd, the city will lay to rest Dante Wright, another black man whose violent death has raised fresh concerns over the way police treat people of color. Excuse me. The funeral of Wright, who was 20 years old, who was shot by a white police officer in a Minneapolis suburb on April 11th after a routine traffic stop, will be attended by a number of high-profile civil rights activists as well as family and friends. The service is scheduled to begin at 12 p.m. Central Time at Shiloh Temple International Ministries, a historically black church in North Minneapolis. The Reverend Al Sharpton is going to deliver the eulogy as he did at Floyd's funeral last year. You remember this was a case, Altbaba, where she said that it was a taser. She thought she was tasing him, and then she shot him.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened in that case. Justin Gonzalez is a Democratic Party activist and sympathetic to the plight of the homeless. Her brother has struggled with the cycle of going from jail to the streets of Los Angeles. She once lived in transitional housing, but even her tolerance was tested by a homeless encampment that swelled to some 200 people at Echo Park Lake in Los Angeles. The 31-year-old moved from her home near the park after a man living there had exposed himself to her 7-year-old daughter while jogging. She saw paramedics remove a body also from one of the tents. So, in a city where Republicans are outnumbered and the debate over what to do about homelessness is largely among moderate and progressive Democrats and others further to the left, Gonzalez said some of her friends have called her views bourgeois. So, basically, what they're doing in Los Angeles, they're developing a homelessness strategy. But the strategy is going to be a combination of outreach over the months and then police action for the handful of people who refuse to move is being heralded by some as a strategy for the rest of the city in the face of a seemingly intractable problem. So now, is it possible to use police force and get these people removed? But think about it, Punjab, where will they go if you don't come up with a plan for them?
Yeah.
Right? So the political will is lacking to kind of initiate police action at this particular point in time, but definitely you have to come up with a proper solution for it. In fact, it's very encouraging, Altubaba. Dublin City Council actually voted to pass $10 million to tackle homelessness. Did you know that? Here in the local Bay Area, they passed a bill where they committed about $10 million to downtown affordable housing project. That's what they called it. They agreed to partner with the non-profit developer called Bridge Housing on a 308-unit project near the West Dublin Pleasanton Bath station that will be 100% affordable housing. The council unanimously agreed to spend the $10 million on developing 3.6 acres at 6501 Golden Gate Drive, just across Interstate 580 from the Bath and across the street from the Bath parking structure. The 5-story building would have a parking garage and commercial space on its ground floor below 4 stories of housing. It voted unanimously to spend another $7.1 million from its Affordable Housing Fund and another $2.9 million from its share of Alameda County Measure A1 bond funds on the project. Now, that's something that you people start to need to do, especially when it comes to local governments as to how to tackle homelessness. In some worrisome news, Banajan, police are investigating a body that was found on the bank of a creek in Sunnyvale, according to the Department of Public Safety. At about 1:30 p.m. Monday, a bicyclist reported a possible dead body in Balance Park area, 999 East Caribbean Drive. This, when officers arrived, they found the body on a soft mud embankment along the north side of a small creek south of the Sunnyvale Materials Recovery and Transfer Station Trail. Police said the body was partially submerged and entangled in vegetation along the embankment and appeared to have been there for some time. No signs of other human activity were found around the body. Because of decomposition, they are not able to identify the body. The Santa Clara County Medical Examiner has said that they're going to investigate the cause and the manner of death as well. And NASA scientists are tracking climate change from the International Space Station. If you want to watch that video, Banjam, we'll share that on mediamahima.com. It's actually a beautiful thing that you can see. It's something that you would be able to wonderfully watch that particular video where they show how climate change, you can actually see it from outer space, that it's actually real, it's happening.
Right? Earth Day, right? I told you.
Exactly. And on the occasion of Earth Day, there's been a whole bunch of announcements that have been made by the President Joe Biden's administration with regard to the emissions and with regard to climate change accord. So more on that you will find on mediamahima.com. So, Altibaba, time for you to go to the Gane Ka Kida, don't you think?
Of course, Faltwani, I'm always ready for that. And okay, Baljan, this is on the occasion of the Earth Day. I have a nice song lined up for you guys. You'll enjoy the song. It's actually in the voice of Mukesh ji. It's a beautiful song. It's describing nature. Oh. It's called Hari Bhari Vasundhara.
Hari Vasundhara Neela neela ye gagan Neela neela ye gagan Hari Hari Vasundhara pe neela neela ye gagan जिस पे बादलों की पालकी उड़ा रहा पवन दिशाएं देखो रंग भरी दिशाएं देखो रंग भरी चमक रही उमंग भरी ये किसने फूल फूल पे ये किसने फूल फूल पे किया सिंगार है ये कौन चित्रकार है ये कौन
इसके चित्रकार तो बारे में मुझे मालूम नहीं पड़ता लेकिन मुझे मालूम है कि ये गाया है मुकेश जी ने फ्रॉम द मूवी बूंद जो बन गई मोती द मूवी ने द सॉन्ग ने ऑफ कोर्स ये कौन चित्रकार है डिस्क्राइबिंग हाउ वंडरफुल नेचर इज बनुजान दिस इज म्यूजिक बाय सतीश भाटिया जी एंड ऑफ कोर्स भरत व्यास के लिरिक्स बनुजान एंजॉय कीजिएगा दिस इज अगेन अ ब्यूटीफुल सॉन्ग डिस्क्राइबिंग द नेचर एंड द फिलॉसफी बिहाइंड हाउ नेचर जस्ट कंटिन्यूज विदाउट अस can continue with us.
तपस्वियों सी हैं अटल ये पर्वतों की चोटियां ये सर्प सी घुमेरदार घेरदार घाटियां ध्वजा से ये खड़े हुए ध्वजा से ये खड़े हुए हैं वृक्ष देवदार के गलीचे ये गुलाब के बगीचे ये बहार के ये किस कवि की कल्पना ये किस कवि की कल्पना का चमत्कार है ये कौन चित्रकार है, ये कौन
उस चित्र का कवि जो है वो जवाब नहीं मिल जाए, लेकिन मुझे इस गाने का कवि तो मालूम है, भरत व्यास जी हैं। एंड अ ब्यूटीफुल सॉन्ग बलजान, ये और बजेगा, डोंट वरी, बिकॉज आज वी आर मार्किंग द अर्थ डे बलजान, वी आर रिकॉग्नाइजिंग द अर्थ डे, वी मेकिंग श्योर दैट धरती माँ को हम लोग एक बार झुक के सलाम मारेंगे बलजान। कितना भरोसा, कितना हम पे हम उस पे कितना भरोसा करते, राइट? वी आर सो मच कनेक्टेड टू आवर अर्थ। दैट्स व्हाई समटाइम्स व्हेन आई हियर Elon Musk talk about going to space, blah 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 blah, I find it to be very difficult. It's very far-fetched. Yeah, it's a good dream, but we are so connected to the earth, we don't realize the fact that when we leave earth, we are leaving a huge part of our thinking. Our biology is connected to our earth's cycles.
Yeah, because the 5 elements, right? We are made of all those 5
oh
elements.
my God, Faltu, sometimes I feel like, where do you get all your thing from?
What do I get?
Must be all the imparting of knowledge I do with you. It's fine. The osmosis is happening anyway. I'm happy, Faltani.
Raskala.
Don't worry. Even if you don't recognize me as your guru, I'll always say, Faltani, please give us world news.
Well, the biggest one, because on the occasion of Earth's Day, Banajan, the United States and 2 other countries hiked their targets for slashing greenhouse gas emissions at a global climate summit hosted by President Joe Biden, an event meant to resurrect U.S. leadership in the fight against global warming. Biden unveiled the goal to cut emissions by 50 to 52% from 2005 levels at the start of the 2-day climate summit, kicked off on Earth's Day and attended virtually by leaders from 40 countries, including the big emitters like China, India, and Russia. Russia announced on Thursday it was ordering troops back to its base from the area near the border with Ukraine, apparently calling an end to a build-up of tens of thousands of soldiers that had alarmed the West. The currencies of both Russia and Ukraine rose sharply after the announcement, signaling relief among investors just hours after Russia also ended war games in Crimea, the peninsula it occupied and annexed from Ukraine in 2014. There was no immediate response from Western countries, but a pullout of troops brought in on top of permanent contingent was likely to be welcomed by countries that had been expressing alarm at the prospect of further Russian intervention in eastern Ukraine. Russian-backed separatists have been fighting the Ukrainian government in the region since 2014. The Czech Republic on Thursday ordered Russia to remove most of its remaining diplomatic staff from Prague in an escalation of the worst dispute between the two countries in decades. Moscow said that it was going to swiftly respond. The spy row flared on Saturday when Prague expelled 18 Russian staff whom it identified as intelligence officers. It said 2 Russian spies accused of a nerve agent poisoning in Britain in 2018 were also behind the explosion of a Czech ammunition depot in 2014 that killed 2 people.
Oh my God, this is really bad news, huh, Faltwani?
Yeah.
And what's happening in Navalny?
Alexei Navalny, one of his staunch supporters, I mean, I don't have the detailed news, has called for him to end his hunger strike.
Called for him?
Yeah, he's requested. He's one of his staunchest supporters.
By
has
email?
Said, I don't
or
know.
Instagram?
I don't know the details. You can go look it up, Altu Baba. The day that you give us the Altu Baba conspiracy theories, that day I will give you more detail about Alexei
Here's
Navalny.
one more thing I want to talk to you about.
Huh.
China actually is emitter, you talked about,
Yeah.
Earth, right? So
Yeah.
one of the people actually, didn't WHO actually post a thing saying that the origin of coronavirus was from China?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
They did.
They said that, right?
Yeah.
So does the world actually get a rebate from China?
Oh, God.
You know what? We should ask them. Come on, let go of Hong Kong and then we call it even.
I know. That's a good... Oh, my God, man. You're
I
like
should be
brilliant. You
international
should be like the world leader.
Not world leader, negotiations.
Yeah.
I'm very good. I got wonderful negotiation skills, Banujan. Yes,
Really,
it's true.
Altu Baba?
Why not?
Okay, very
Let
good.
them give up Hong Kong, we'll call it even.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
No, the kind of thing that I really am reading a lot about this Hong Kong thing.
I
but-
wish you would use those skills to land us some business, Panjan.
Yeah, if people actually had
He was all big world problems like this sitting here.
I only handle the big things. All small things, leave it to Faltwani.
Anyway, So let's tell you, Banjan, the European Commission is working on legal proceedings against AstraZeneca after the drug maker cut COVID-19 vaccine deliveries to the European Union. Sources familiar with the matter are saying the move would mark a further step in an EU plan to sever ties with the Anglo-Swedish company after it repeatedly cut supplies to the bloc, contributing to major delays in Europe's vaccine rollout. News from India is not good, Bandijan. India recorded the world's highest daily tally of 314,835 COVID-19 infections on Thursday as a second wave of the pandemic raised new fears about the ability of crumbling health services to cope. Health officials across northern and western India, including the capital in New Delhi, said they were in crisis. Right now, the situation with the oxygen tanks, Altu Baba, is like beg, borrow, or steal. It's really, really bad right now. There's even crime that's happening because of the fact that there's thefts of oxygen tanks and things like that. Yeah. More than in Karnataka also, Banijan, COVID-19 cases, there's been a huge surge in COVID-19 cases, and Karnataka government has been directed by the High Court to issue circulars to ensure timely assistance and relief for elderly citizens during this prevailing pandemic. And teachers in government schools have been exempted from taking classes on campus as well. And of course, why is this wave so bad this time around in India, Banijan? There is a story that the Times of India has done, and it's an analysis report. We'll share that with you. It seems like Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the second wave has hit us like a storm and has really got India reeling from it. So, if you want to catch up on that story and what they're suggesting, you can go to mediamahima.com. That's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Bay. We'll be back tonight, live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Don't forget to tune in. Have yourselves a beautiful, wonderful, terrific Thursday.
Earth Day. And of course, the song is for you guys from the movie, of course, Boond Jo Ban Gayi Moti. And the voice of Mukesh ji, lyrics by Bharat Vyas, music by Satish Bhatia
ध्वजा से ये खड़े हुए हैं वृक्ष देवदार के गलीचे ये गुलाब के बगीचे ये बहार के ये किस कवि की कल्पना ये किस कवि की कल्पना का चमत्कार है ये कौन चित्रकार है ये कौन चित्रकार ये कौन चित्रकार है ये कौन चित्रकार है
Bandijan, this is your darling प्यारी महिमा की दुलारी फालतू रानी.